Hi everyone and welcome to Rumrunnerdan. I'm Dan Genovese. Today we're making a classic tiki cocktail, Don's Own Grog.
Oh, blow the man down, bullies, blow the man down.
To me way, blow the man down.
Blow the man down, bullies, blow him away.
Give me some time to blow the man down. We went over the bar on the 13th of May. Way, blow the man down. But Gallagher jumped and the gale came away. Give me some time to blow the man down.
Today's recipe for Don's Own Grog comes to us from Martin and Rebecca Cate's excellent book, Smuggler's Cove. The book outlines this unique twist on grog, and it doesn't really go along with what you normally consider to be grog. But it's said to have been on Don's menu, something that he liked to serve, so I gave it a shake one night, having no idea what it was going to taste like. First time I tasted it, I made it wrong. I didn't realize I made it wrong until about a year later, but I didn't like it. It's because I made it wrong. I totally messed up what I was supposed to put in it. I forgot to put in at least 2 ingredients. I was just getting started out in Tiki when I was doing this, and I wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing at the time, and I kind of totally messed it up. So when I retried it again earlier this year, I tasted it and I'm like, wow, this is really, really good. And I love one of the notes on this and how simplistic the drink is, and it just lets the flavors of all the rums and the ingredients kind of shine together. So it's one of the reasons I love to do this cocktail. So I'm not going to belabor the point anymore. Why don't we get into making it? Today, drink mixer. And we're going to use our jigger. So today we're going to start out with the juices just like we normally do. So for today, I have some new bottles that I'm trying out. I'm trying them out right now. I don't know if I really like them yet or not. These are made by Cruise Supply Company, and Cruise Supply Company is famed for making these bottles that for the industry are a lot easier to use. They're easier to sanitize and clean on the inside because these bottom parts right here are removable. They twist off. My first thought on these bottles are, that's gonna leak. So far, it's pretty good. I just started making a batch of syrups and I put them inside the bottles. I'll let you know how it goes, but for now, they're working out pretty good. So I'm gonna need 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. I will admit, I do like the fact that now I have speed pourer spouts in these. Makes it a lot cleaner when I'm pouring. Next, what we're going to do is Demerara Syrup. 100% Demerara, it's why it's so dark. And we're going to use a 1/4 ounce here. Next, we're going to need just a dash. If you want to use a dash, you can in a dasher bottle. This is homemade Grenadine. I just like to use 1/8 of a teaspoon instead of a dash, so measure out yourself 1/8 of a teaspoon, or you can put it in a dasher bottle and just use a dash. Homemade Grenadine. Next, let's get that last little bit out of there. There we go. Next, we're going to need some aromatic bitters. Aromatic bitters, use the ones that you like the most. You can use Angostura. I happen to love Miss Better's bitters. Their batch 42 aromatic bitters are delicious. I'm going to use 8 drops. Okay. Next, let's get into some spirits here. We're going to start out with, actually we're going to save this guy for last. Let's start out with this guy. This will be a little bit unique thing to talk about. This is Leopold Brothers Rocky Mountain Blackberry Liqueur. So this calls for blackberry brandy. This is the one that Martin and Rebecca Cate recommend in their book. It's fantastic. It's so delicious. It tastes like blackberries, like really like blackberries. It's absolutely delicious. Don't need a ton inside of the drink here. You're just going to need a 1/2 ounce. Smell on this is absolutely to die for too. All right, wipe my hands off here quick. Next, we're going to put in some black blended rum. In this case, I'm using Blackwell's Black Gold. It's a Jamaican rum. You can use any kind of dark blended rum that you like. You can use a Hamilton 86, you can use Karuba. You can also use Goslings if you like it. I'm not a huge fan of Goslings, but I mean, you can use it in this case. This half an ounce. Okay. Next, we're gonna go and use a lightly aged rum. Now, again, like I always say, lightly aged doesn't necessarily mean color has to be light. This one I'm going to use some Denizen 3-year. Need half an ounce of this guy as well. You can tell very much that this is a Don the Beachcomber drink, considering there's a lot of small measurements of a lot of ingredients. Last one we're going to need is a blended age rum, like in this one, there's a couple different ways that you can go here. All of them are going to have some various different impacts on the end product. I like to go with Plantation Grand Reserve 5-year. It's their 5-year aged rum. I think it works really well for this one. Any 5-year kind of aged rum would work really nice. An 8-year would also work really good here. I'm thinking like a Denizen 8-year would work great. And also Bombarda Rum, whom I'm recently have been partnering with on making some recipes for them. Those will be coming out very soon. They have 2 different rums that would both work very well in this. Culvern, as well as the Falconet. Culvern is a 5 to 8 year blend, and the Falconet is an 8-year blended rum too. All of them are blended rums. Great Caribbean rums. They're both really, really good. No added anything to them. No flavorings, artificial, nothing. It's just a rum. Delicious. Both of them would work in here. Today I'm using Plantation 5-year, 1 ounce. Okay. Now, that takes care of our ingredients. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to need some ice. 12 ounces of crushed ice, or you can use Pebble, whichever one you like. And then we're going to flash blend this for about 4 seconds. All right. Now, we're going to serve this up in a double old-fashioned glass. I love these double old-fashioned glasses. These come from Cocktail Garnish, not Cocktail Garnish Company, although I highly recommend that you check their link below for all your dehydrated fruit needs. This comes from Cocktail Kingdom. Cocktail Kingdom glasses, you can check this out in my Amazon store, link below. I love these double old-fashioned glasses. The shape of them, the size of them, they fit really nice. They have a good heft to them, so it doesn't feel like you're going to smash the glass when you hold it. You're just going to take and dump the contents of it right in. First thing you kind of notice, if you guys remember my ankle breaker episode, which was a Revolutionary War Tiki drink, yeah, check that out, the link. I'll put it right there so you can go and check that one out. Has a really dark color to it. That's because of the cherry herring that we put in that one, which is a cherry liqueur. This one comes from that blackberry liqueur that we have in there. I'm going to top this guy up with some more crushed ice. I'm going to put just a scotch more. Yeah, there we go. We're going to really fill it up today. So garnishing this drink up is real simple. The first thing you're going to need is, just like the Van Dyke said, if it's not fresh nutmeg, it's not worth it. So you're going to get some fresh, whole nutmeg. Smells so good. And then you're just going to get yourself a little microplane, and you're going to take a little bit and put that right over the top there. I like to put a couple of nice things so you can see it on top. This thing really adds a nose to this drink that's absolutely phenomenal. So make sure that you're getting fresh grade. After you put that on there, you gotta get yourself a Surfside Sips straw. Which one am I gonna do here? I'm gonna do this nice little teal color one. It's a solid plain teal color, love it. think it'll fit in real nice with this drink. And on top of that, I'm gonna grab myself here a little swizzle stick, a little paddle swizzle stick. You can pick these up on Amazon as well. Set that guy right in there. And there you have it, everybody. That is a Don the Beachcomber drink, Don's Own Grog. Let's give it a taste. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Such a subtle and tasty drink. I love this flavor on it. So the first part about this drink is it's not like a traditional grog. I have to tell anyone who really loves grog or has done research on grog, you know that grog is really just sugar, some kind of citrus, often more lemon than limes, and then some rum together, or normally Navy strength rum, and really, you know, everything is warm, and then you mix it together, that kind of like grog. This is definitely not that. This is the cocktail version of grog. So you don't really taste a lot of the citrus component in here as a big flavoring component, which for me is one, strange for a Don the Beachcomber drink. Two, also kind of odd for a tiki drink, but it works. So you still get a little bit of the sourness coming in from it, but it's not the big punchy kind of citrusy component that you're normally used to when you're thinking about tiki drinks. You have a little bit of sweetness coming in here and complexity from the Demerara, but it folds more nicely in with the Jamaican, which is why I like to pick a Jamaican rum here. And you get a little bit of tartness that comes through from the Grenadine. It's very, very slight, but you do taste that. And you get some spiciness from that, from your bitters, right? So that bitterness, that tartness, kind of all folds together with the light sweetness, but the bigger dominating flavor here, this rum blend that we have here. We got a good flavorful rum here from the Denizen 3-year. It tastes of rum, which I cannot say enough that there are a lot of light rums out there. If you pick a bad one, it will taste like vodka. So important to get one that's a high quality, lightly aged rum. Denizen 3-year does not disappoint. Very, very flavorful. And also here we have a solid Barbados rum with the Plantation 5-year. It's a solid, tasty, delicious rum. It's a rum flavor, but it's not an overpowering rum flavor. It's like a solid rum, like I'm here. But it's your bigger flavoring component from the rum side is coming from this darker Jamaican. You get a little bit of the Hogo in there, but this is a very much an approachable type of Jamaican rum. But a big flavor component of this, as you can imagine, is this Blackberry Liqueur. It tastes very much of blackberries. It's also very colored, like blackberries. So the flavor component of this is this fruit, like very, very fruity flavor that you don't associate with tiki, and it's a rum and fruity flavor. It's delicious, and it works really well. And the part about this that ties the whole thing together, I would say the drink wouldn't work if it wasn't for the nutmeg. I know that sounds really weird, but I'm serious. If you smell this nutmeg, right, it gives you that warm, spicy kind of senses that are going onto your palate just by sniffing it. And then by going in and giving a taste of this drink, it rounds all of these flavors together so beautifully. Without it, there is a distinctive difference to the flavor. Some people say no, I say absolutely. And fresh grated nutmeg on here is critical to the success of this drink. So there you have it, everyone, a variation on grog from the master of tiki, or I should say probably just the founder of tiki. There's a lot of masters of tiki, but the founder of tiki, Don the Beachcomber. Thank you all so much for tuning in today about our cocktail, Don's Own Grog. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you haven't already, please click that subscribe button right here. You're going to get notified every single time that we come out with new videos. We're doing them all the time on Tiki, classic cocktails, and original ones by me. While you're at it, why don't you check out these other videos that are linked down here? They'll have a couple of ones that you're interested in, and why don't you just go check out all these different Tiki drinks that I put together. Trust me, they're all awesome. And until next time, everybody, Cole Maluna.